Cold fronts across southeastern Australia to bring damaging winds, showers, hail, and even some alpine snow. And we can see what's driving this with a cold front whipping across South Australia and Victoria overnight and this morning. We saw some showers, rain, and really strong winds around the Adelaide area early this morning. And now that front is moving into western parts of Victoria with some light and patchy rain and strong and gusty winds. Now in the 24 hours to 9 o'clock this morning, you can see widespread areas saw winds in excess of 65 kilometres an hour, with a number of locations experiencing winds greater than 90 kilometres an hour seen here in the red, particularly in and around the Adelaide area and through alpine areas of Victoria and New South Wales as well. We saw winds around Adelaide around 80 to 90 kilometres an hour, and some of our Cape areas we saw winds in excess of 100 kilometres an hour. And that's the type of wind we're going to continue to see in our warning areas. And we do have warnings over many parts of southern Australia. Firstly, we've got severe weather warnings current for New South Wales and Victoria, particularly around the elevated areas, so central and eastern ranges, and to the west of Sydney for elevated areas, where we could see winds of 90 to 100 kilometres an hour with the front moving through today. And then tomorrow, that second front, which I'll show you shortly, could see damaging winds in these yellow highlighted areas. These yellow areas mean that if you live in these areas or know someone that does, forecast winds today, tonight, or tomorrow could see gusts in excess of 90 kilometres an hour, and that's enough to bring down trees and power lines and cause minor property damage. So make sure you're weather aware in these yellow areas. So what's driving this weather? Well, firstly, we can see today's cold front, as you saw earlier, it's going to continue sliding through Victoria and Tasmania today with showers, strong and gusty winds, possibly damaging in those yellow highlighted areas. Then as we move through tonight into tomorrow, that front really weakens out through southeastern parts of the country. Then our eyes turn west towards the next cold front moving in tonight in through Wednesday through South Australia. That's going to bring a more pronounced band of rain across southern agricultural areas of South Australia. So good news for those looking for rainfall, but it's also going to bring another burst of strong to damaging winds, particularly through coastal areas of western South Australia, and also through hilly terrain around the Mount Lofty and Flinders Ranges. That front will then sweep across the rest of southeastern Australia Wednesday night into Thursday with another band of showers, hail, thunder and strong winds, possibly damaging through our elevated areas. And then that will then sweep across Thursday night into Friday, leading to showers as we finish out the work week. So how much rainfall with this first? Well, we can see just light to moderate falls with this first cold front, but notice there's a lot more moisture with our second cold front. So we're going to see more 10 to 20 millimetres through southern agricultural areas, southern and mountain Victoria, and even heavier falls down through Tasmania. We could see falls up to and exceeding 50 millimetres there, and for some of our coastal areas of South Australia and our mountainous terrain through Victoria and New South Wales. This is a typical look of how rainfall does occur in our cold fronts during the winter season. Now, all this rainfall in those elevated areas, particularly alpine areas, will fall as snow as we move through tonight into tomorrow, and that's shown here by the areas of pink through Tasmania, Victoria and New South Wales. But notice with tomorrow's cold front, could see widespread snowfalls across Victoria and New South Wales. We could also see snowfalls getting up into the central and possibly some flurries up into the northern tablelands, or at least the Barrington Tops, as we get through Wednesday night into Thursday. So watch out for that. And with all this weather going on, there's also some big swell as well. So we've got some pretty big waves, particularly for our coastal areas and communities of South Australia into southeast and southwestern parts of Victoria. Then an even bigger pulse of season swell as we get with that second front tomorrow on Wednesday. Even could get into southwestern parts of Victoria later in the day, Wednesday night into Thursday, but notice it eases quite rapidly as we get through Thursday. So with all this wind, rain, snow and damaging winds around the place, make sure you stay up to date latest forecasts and warnings via our website and app, and listen to any advice from emergency services.